future of Camden students, and who is there to truly support them. Everyone needs a Karen Borelli Luke in their lives. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Ms. Abigail Rivera Mercado. And the following individuals have also submitted written comments supporting Ms. Luke. Corey Drummond Jr., Eris Well, United Kingdom, Lindsay Syka, Camden, New Jersey, Eric Figueroa, Hatton Township, New Jersey, Kiara Mauricio, who I actually also provided public comment, so that will be her submission. Luis Sanchez, Camden, New Jersey, Lisa Wallenberg, Marlton, New Jersey, Dominique Valentine, Berlin, New Jersey, Naya A., Camden, New Jersey, Michael Hawkins, Camden, New Jersey, Angeli Pichardo, Camden, New Jersey, Darren Howard, Camden, New Jersey, Cameron Klotz, Camden, New Jersey, and Chris Collins, Camden, New Jersey. The next written submission is from Lizette Borgado of Camden, New Jersey. My name is Lizette Borgado. I am a mother of 3 small children that attend Veterans Memorial School. First and foremost, I would like to give a huge thank you to Vets for being a great school, and for my children for helping my children with their daily work. One thing I would like to see if the school can change up a little is on their school lunches. Sometimes they give out hot milk during lunchtime, and my children don't like hot milk. They used to give out cold juices, but they stopped giving juices out. I spoke to the school about it multiple times since the beginning of the school year, but they still only provide milk, and I know milk is good for kids, but mixing milk with pizza on Fridays is not a good idea. Kids can get stomach pain from that combination. I hope you can understand where I'm coming from and bring juices back. Thank you for taking the time to hear me out. Thank you, Ms. Borgado. The next written submission is from Carla Villegas from Camden, New Jersey. Good evening, board members. My name is Carla Villegas, organizing manager at Parents Invincible. I am a parent of a Camden District student. My child attends Creative Arts High School. I brought up some concerns to the board meeting in November regarding the safety of Camden High School students during dismissal. And since then, I only received one call from the school informing me that they were going to make sure there would be more crossing guards outside, since I have been dropping and picking up my daughter. I haven't seen any change. I would like to know when all those changes will take place. I work with parents daily and with many parents from Camden High campus. One of their main concerns is the safety of their children during dismissal, fearing that their children will get hit by a car. How can we prevent that from happening? How can we assure parents that their students are safe? I hope you can consider my concerns. Thank you, Ms. Villegas. Next comment is from Tariq Wilson. The school board president has taken a leave of absence after being accused of sexual assault. 30 years ago, he couldn't be trusted. He cannot be trusted now. He needs to submit a full resignation or the board should oust him. Not to mention, this is the second board member that turns out to be a criminal. One with gun charges, now a sex offender. Wasim Muhammad might be a different person now, but how can you take chances when it comes to the kids? As a student, what are you going to do about it? How are you going to fix this? Thank you, Mr. Wilson. And the last written submission is from Veronica Martinez. My name is Veronica Martinez, Community Outreach Coordinator, Ward 2. I wanted to bring to the board's attention about what our students are doing when they are on winter break. Are there any programs available for them to attend during winter break? Are the schools offering any programs for the families during this time? If so, are flyers being sent out or calls being made to parents offering these services? Having resources put in place for families would be beneficial to avoid parents missing work or seeking alternative childcare. Thank you, Ms. Martinez. Superintendent, that concludes the written comments this evening. I will turn it over to you for any responses.
Thank you. Again, I want to take this opportunity to thank everyone for coming out to our board meeting this evening. As every month, the public comment portion is a very, very important opportunity for us as a district, and I'm sure the board as well, to be able to hear the concerns of the community. And so again, I want to take this opportunity to humbly again say thank you. I know there were many, many items on the list, or not on the agenda, but many different items that were brought up, many concerns, many feelings, many facts, many things that some of those things we can speak to, some of those things we cannot speak to. But I do want you to know that it is very important that we hear what you are feeling, and that not only we hear it, but we take it back and do everything possible to make sure that at the end of the day, we are doing what is best for our young people. So I thank you for the candid feedback. I thank you for the honesty. I thank you for always being honest. And we look forward to moving forward, working together to make sure that we bring resolution to the matters that were addressed. And though I can't address each and every comment individually, and again, am bound by what I can share and what I can't share, I do want to just share a few words, but I wanted to just let you know that it's not very easy to sit before you and to hear what was said. And I say that because I want to be transparent and I want to be honest. Because no matter how well-intentioned we are, it does not, the feeling of, being perceived as not doing everything possible to protect the young people that we have served, and many of us have served, for myself, I can only speak for myself, for the past 30 years. Although it's difficult to hear, it's necessary. It's necessary to hear it. So I don't shirk back from it as a leader, but I want you to know that even though I can't respond to each item, it was taken in. Notes are taken. We're following up. Some of the situations that were addressed, we're already working on. But that does not make it any easier. Until we get everything resolved for our young people, we will still continue to work, and hopefully work in collaboration and in unity. So I appreciate the honesty that was shared today. So again, I want to thank everyone, the students especially. Our student board reps, some of them had to go. Hey, Damien is back. They're doing double duty because there's a basketball game, and they are dedicated, so they're coming back and forth. So we will allow them to have the opportunity to share, but again, wanted to be flexible with their responsibilities tonight. So I thank everyone for sharing. It does take a lot of courage for not only our students, but for many of us as adults. The topics that have been shared can be very triggering for many individuals and for many of us as adults. But at the end of the day, we are making sure, and we need to continue to work together to make sure we're being held accountable to ensuring that our students' safety is first and foremost. So thank you for your display of courage. Thank you for your display of just being an example for our young people to see that you are standing up as well, and for speaking passionately and from the heart about many of the issues that are so very sensitive. Although the district is limited in its ability to speak to any of the specific allegations against the board president, as this is part of an ongoing legal case involving the district, we can confirm that the district was not aware of these allegations prior to the filing of the complaint. I do want to assure everyone here tonight and everyone within our school community that we do take these matters very seriously. They're not light. They're not being taken lightly at all. And for many of us who've had the experience of being molested or abused, it's very difficult. And I have shared very openly with my young people, not out of victimization, because I'm not a victim, but I'm a conqueror of the things that happened to me in the past, as being someone who was molested and someone who was abused. And not because of my mother, because she was a single mother doing everything she could to make sure she set the example for me. So I don't want anyone to get it twisted. I don't talk about it a lot because I respect my mother. And everything she did, she never wanted that to happen to me. But she entrusted me to the hands of people who, unfortunately, did things to me that they should not have. So I just want to put that out there. I am not a victim. I'm an overcomer. And I hope that we can all work together to help make sure our young people have what they need so that they can overcome too. Because there are many issues. Sexual abuse is just one. There are many other abuses that occur to our young people that we have to bind together and keep them at the center. So regardless of who is in this seat, regardless of who has the title or position of a state district superintendent, and I'm only speaking right now for myself. I can't speak for the board. I just need you to know that at the end of the day, regardless, we have to make sure that we're committed to our young people, and we are, but we've got to make sure that we fill in any gaps that still are present. So we do have to bind together if we are going to collectively protect all of our young people from all of the things that are thrown their way to thwart their progress. But we must make sure they know that they have people who care about them so that they can overcome and not succumb to being victimized. So I only say that. The only reason I'm saying that is because, yes, I'm triggered. I'm triggered by the conversations, by the things that I read, regardless of guilt or innocence. But I want to let you know this one thing, that we are doing what we can to make sure our team, I've talked to our school-based youth services team, we have individuals in place, Ms. Nafessa Wiggins, Ms. Andrea Omatry, and the team, to make sure that if any young person is also triggered by what they're reading, by what they're hearing, by what they're seeing, that there are adults available to be able to connect with them. I've spoken to our students, and they are aware of that, but we all collectively have to make sure that we're pointing them in the right direction. And so again, I'm not pointing any fingers. I'm saying that we have to do this together if we really are serious about making sure that we are supporting our young people through this very difficult time where lots of questions may come into their minds. So I want to thank you for allowing me to share that, because I have to be honest. I have to be a human being. I have to be transparent. I'm a product of Camden. I'm a product of the Camden City School District. My livelihood has been this district because I care, but because I choose not to work anywhere else except here. So I'm saying that, and I hope that what is a gaping, what is something that is an assault on the trust that we've been trying to work to build up, that we can collectively come together in order to make sure that things are put in place so that our young people who are watching, who are looking, are not individuals who are harmed. And so again, I want to take this opportunity. There are pamphlets that are in the rear, and these pamphlets are for anyone who may have concerns. There are resources from the county as well as resources in our school district. If you have any concerns, if you know young people who are in need of extra support and mental health support right now because of this specific situation we're addressing tonight, please make sure you reach out. Again, we have individuals here who are ready, and last but ready to support. And I know that we acknowledge that there are requests for the district and the advisory board to act to remove the board president from the board. However, I have to clarify that the district and the advisory board are limited in their authority to remove an elected official from their position except in limited circumstances, such as when a board member misses 3 consecutive meetings without good cause or no longer resides within the city limits. Based on the outcome of the underlying legal proceeding, additional actions may become available. And finally, again, as I shared, as a reminder for anyone who would like support or resources regarding sexual assault and trauma, there are booklets available at the table outside the auditorium provided by our school-based youth services team. And please, if you suspect any individual of being the victim of sexual assault or abuse or experiencing trauma, please reach out to a school staff member for support and for guidance, because again, we must all be watching in order for us to ensure we're protecting our young people. And so I know, again, again, that typically I try to address each and every individual that comes to the microphone because I respect you, I respect your voices, and I don't want anyone to walk away feeling like I didn't hear. As a leader, I wasn't listening, that I didn't see you, that I didn't hear you, that I didn't feel you, that I didn't understand. But understand that I have taken notes, that we are working on what was shared, some already in the works, and there will be resolution brought. To Ms. Naya, I don't know if you're still here, whose son, yes, is at Eastside High School. I got that information right before we came to the board meeting and share that, and there is a report that's due to me so we can move forward in collaboration with the Camden County Metro Police Department. So I want you to know, and we can talk more one-on-one because I don't want to be insensitive, but please know that was troubling, that was hurtful as a parent, as a mother, and understand what you feel and what you communicated. So thank you, but thank you is not enough. We have to make sure that it doesn't happen again for any of our young people. So I will stop speaking right now in public for this portion, but I do, again, want to just close by saying we have to stick together and stay united on those areas that impact our young people. That's what is most important right now. I thank you for listening, and I want to take this opportunity, if we can hear from our student board rep who is there, Damien, if we can turn it over at this point. Board Secretary, is it okay if we shift to? Yes, sure. Absolutely. To our student board reps, because I know they have to come in and out. So Damien, if you wouldn't mind sharing as a representative from Brim Medical Arts High School.
Hello, my name is Damien. I'm a junior at Brim Medical Arts High School, and I just want to say I'm speaking as the president of the class of 2025. So we have two advisors given to us freshman year all the way throughout senior year, and one of them is sadly leaving the district, but the other one is Miss Baretti Luke that is still not with us. And as you know, since we're juniors, senior year next year is literally impossible without an advisor. We're not going to have a prom. We're not going to have any field trips. We're not going to have any senior fun things if we don't have Miss Luke back at Brim. Simple as that. And there's really no point. Like, we need an advisor. We don't want another advisor. We don't want another advisor given to us. We want Miss Luke back as our advisor so we can have our senior year. And you did speak on this, Superintendent McCombs, but I don't know if any other students spoke about it, so I'm going to speak about it from a student's perspective, that with the Wasim Muhammad allegation or whatever it's called. And can I have someone record, because, they don't like putting stuff on YouTube. So I just wanted to say that hearing it from a student's perspective and constantly at every board meeting seeing the man up here is disturbing. And for the district, that I read the article, it says the district and Muhammad himself went to the judge and asked for the case to be dismissed. And that's what we're not going to do, no matter if it was false or if it was true. We're not going to dismiss any case, because if any other allegation happened to any other district employee, that district employee is immediately put on administration leave. So what that person needed to do was immediately resign or immediately take a leave, and they didn't have to wait until the governor of New Jersey to ask for him to resign. It should be the district or Superintendent McCombs or anybody else that has the ability to ask them to resign, because that's the same thing that happened to Clayton Gonzalez, that y'all asked him to immediately resign or immediately whatever. So that should have happened with Mr. Muhammad as well. It shouldn't wait all the way to it get to the governor of New Jersey when we have Camden City people that are elected from the community to do that, to basically represent our community. So with that being said, I just want to speak from the students' perspective and students as a whole, that the district needs to basically do their job. Thank you.
Thank you, Damien. Yes, you may speak now. Thank you.
So my name is Harmony Bronson. I am a junior at Creative Arts High School. I would like to first start off by touching base with the claim that Ira Carmichael made about the water, and I'm sorry, I also forgot your name, but the lady about her son getting bullied in school. That actually, listening to that actually made me cry, and I feel like I'm about to cry right now. Because it is so sick to hear that is happening, regardless of whether he was autistic or not. And also the fact that we barely have resources. I feel like we barely have resources in the school as it is. We don't have tutors. We now have our water jugs taken out for whatever reason. I don't even know the reason. They're just gone now. We can't fundraise for stuff that we have to pay for ourselves because the district doesn't pay for it. And there are just so many other issues. And I would also like to touch base on the BARD program that I'm in as well. My class is going to be taking Yes, we're going to be taking SATs, the NJSLA, any sort of state tests very soon, and we have absolutely no preparation for it, because while I do enjoy being in the BARD program and the college course, we have not been preparing for it whatsoever. We are not ready for it, whether it be in math or reading, science, whatever it's going to be on, we're not ready for it. There are just so many issues. Again, with Camden High, and there just being smoke in the hallways, the alarms on the doors. It's just, it's infuriating almost how little we have and how much is continuously being taken away from us. Moving students rather than helping them solve their problems. Telling students to figure it out on their own rather than helping them learn what they need to learn. I feel like everything is sort of being put on us, and then when we do not show the best that we can, it's also our fault. And to address the thing with the president, I'm sorry, I'm shaking. I honestly don't know how to feel, because I don't know who he is, but just the simple fact that he is a man working for our school district, the president of the school district, and he is now being accused of the things that he may or may not have done, whether they be true or not. The fact that it is even happening, it shouldn't be a thing. This should not be something that could even be brought up or potentially arise. I don't know what to say. And I know that they're only accusations, so I'm not going to point fingers, but something needs to be done about this. Something needs to be done about our students, about the schools, about safety. Everything is just on us, and I feel like it should not be at all. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you both. Thank you very much for sharing. Again, your courage is powerful, and you speaking truth to power is what we want you to continue to do. This is just an opportunity to learn to do that, but we hear you both very loud, very clear. We will have conversations again with school leaders and those who are your instructors and teachers to make sure that they also hear and they also are aware of how you're feeling. Thank you for your comments with regard to the allegations surrounding the board president. I know one of you I spoke to individually, but Damien, I know you're on a college tour today, but thank you again. We appreciate what you're sharing. We will continue to keep you informed as student board reps, and we continue to support you in your leadership and your roles. I want to turn it over to our interim board president to see if any board members have things that they want to share with regard to the student reps or any of the public comments.
Sure. Thank you, Superintendent. Board members, if you don't mind, if I start off, if that's okay. So first, to our student reps as well as our young adults, you are a priority. Like Superintendent said, everything that you're speaking about is something that we hear and that we're listening to. For our young adults, all those that address concerns and those that weren't able to be here to speak for themselves, it's very challenging times. There's a challenging situations, challenging times, and everything has happened at once. I'm not just speaking about one situation, just multiple things. And for us, it's our job to figure out, how to make sure we correct those things, assist with supporting you guys, and, how we make the necessary changes. There's a lot of work that's being done, but it's not enough if it's still problems. I look at several people in the audience, and, I know people reach out to board members up here. I know this is the position that we've chosen, right? So, when the fingers are pointing, like we're up here for a reason. So it's okay to point the finger. But I also want people to feel like they can trust board members, but not just that, also know that we're here. And I know some people know that, and I'm not saying this is the time to, hey, get a pat on the back, because like Superintendent said, the collective effort is what's needed. We can't run from what our issues are, and we have a lot of them. And like Superintendent also spoke about, it's things that we can't speak about. So it's not, hey, we just don't want to talk, or hey, we may not just speak up. It's certain things that we are bound by. It's part of the law. When we help, when we support, when we fight for people, everything is not always spoken about. Some things are, but we do a lot of work behind the scenes. I only say that to say I don't want you to think that, hey, is nothing being done and now we're getting ready to act. That's not it. But I am telling you that there's a lot more that needs to be done. There's a lot more. And any issues, anything that you bring to us, it doesn't go unheard. We don't leave the board meetings and say, okay, that's over. The things are addressed by every board member that's up here. I can stand by the board members because I know the work that they do. So everybody may have opinions and their personal opinions, but we do the work. I'll speak from, I'm out here. We in the streets. We address things. People call. I see 5, 6 faces. We don't shy away from the issues and the situations. At the same time, we can't have these different things going on. We just heard about the young man, being jumped today. The first thing we did was we asked, we followed up. What's the situation? Can we get a report on that? So that we can get the facts, so that we can support the superintendent and her administration, just making sure that the things that need to be done are done. There's a lot of things that we don't know. And sometimes it's assumed that we know things that we don't. We don't know unless it's brought to us. And every outcome, everything that's brought to us may not always be the answers that you're looking for. But we work on it. It's certain things that we can do, it's certain things that we can't do, but we all have voices. And I'm here to tell you that we use our voices. And we use our voices for our students. I'm passionate because I've been doing this for over 20 years. Other people, collectively, we probably have 30, 40 plus years of doing this work. Again, it's not to give a pat on the back, it's so that you understand who's in front of you. So when we say, hey, we want this person, or we need different people, and that's fine, that's okay. This is a volunteer position that we show up for, not just for a school board meeting. Not just for a school board meeting. And if it's anybody who don't know us, I welcome you to get to know us. And you still may not like some people, and that's okay. But if our focus is our young adults, let's figure out how to work with our young adults. I call people to the table on a regular for our young adults. This is not no front. This is something that's done all the time. And I say I, but it's not just I. And in everything that I'm saying there's more that needs to be done. Collectively, we're not doing enough. If we got people getting jumped, people afraid, people scared to speak up, allegations, because you're correct. That's not something that we should have to deal with. That's correct. We shouldn't have to deal with these things. I don't want to discredit anybody that's working hard, because we have some good teachers and, some good administration and staff members that's working hard. And the reason that I acknowledge that is because people get discouraged. We don't want to lose good quality, even though we have some people that might not be the best. I look at faces, and people might not want to accept that or believe it, but I'm willing to have any conversation offline in reference to that. We're not just talking about the person that just shows up when it's convenient. I hear photo ops and all that, but along with those photo ops and pictures is the people that's out there working when there's no cameras around. And yes, there's people that just show up for photo ops, but let's talk to the people that's doing the work. And not just that, if it's not enough of us doing the work, how do we get more people involved? How do we get this many people that's in the seats right now and more to show up? And I heard people not believing in the people that's up here. But this came before the board that's up here right now. So how do we reverse that? I'm open to suggestions, and I say I mean we. We're open to suggestions on how we get more people involved. We know things have been done wrong and not always the correct way. We know that. There's a lot of fraudulent people. There's a lot of things that go on, not just on the board, in the audience, outside in the streets, everywhere. So how do we be the example for our young adults and be those leaders so that they see the right thing? How do we do that? And this is challenging for all of us. But for me, it's how do we figure out the solution so that we can make sure our young adults have what they need. I appreciate your time, and please, let's not let this be the last conversation. Let's please figure out how we can do more. And I'll speak for myself, even though I feel like I'm speaking for the board. I'm open to suggestions. I'm willing to make time whenever it is that you have time to discuss whatever you may want to discuss. I can't tell you I have all the answers or I have the power to change those things, but I do have the ability to speak to the people in position to make sure that your voice is heard. And not just speak about it, to work collectively with those people to help do what's in my power. So on that note, I would like to turn it over to any other board members that has anything else to say at this time. Naima Gillespie.
Thank you, Acting President. My sentiments are those of my colleague, but while we're here and we have numbers in the seats, I'm asking for consistency, not to just show up when it's an issue, but to be consistent all the time, and a call to action for parent involvement. Because we can't do this by ourselves. I commend the administration for doing the very best. They've gone above and beyond to try to attract teachers, keep teachers. It's a struggle nationwide. The state of education is in trouble. Our kids are in trouble. And we need everybody. Just like Acting President said, we need everybody. Every day it's something else, and we're trying to keep up. We're trying to figure out what attracts the kids, what's keeping them out of trouble. And just like he said, we in these streets all the time. I'm available all the time. So I'm begging you, so let's work together. And we say that when we in these rooms, but when we get out of these rooms, it's something different all the time to figure it out. Because I know I don't have the answer. I'm sure most of you don't either. And we have to figure it out.
Thank you, Board Member Gillespie. Board Member Danielle.
First, I want to acknowledge the student representatives who came to speak tonight. I see the first two left, but thank you all for joining us. Your comments are heard. They're taken into consideration. They're very serious, how you feel. I don't want to discredit you at all for any of that. I believe at the last board meeting, we talked a little bit about fundraising and different ways that we can get that going. I'm here. Where y'all at? Come see me. Call me. I gave everybody my business card and everything else. I gave you some really good alternatives that we can get done to move along the things that you all want to move along as far as your senior year, your class trips, your different things like that. Please, please, please know that I'm a resource. If you need help with writing, if you need help with reading, if you need help with SAT prep, I have run a nonprofit of my own, and I also work for a nonprofit. I work 6 to 7 days a week. You need groceries, call me. Your little brother or sister need Pampers, formula, call me. Anything. I'm at 1801 South Broadway, Monday through Saturday. And that goes for everybody who's in this room. We all do the work. I can't speak for anybody else that's not here, but we do the work. We like Brother Nam said, we're in the streets. The allegations were absolutely serious concerning board president, but I also want to make clear that we found out when you all found out. Truth. For both of the people who are not here, who are no longer on the board. So a lot of things, although we're not allowed to speak about, a lot of stuff we weren't aware of, literally. So some things, we're human just like you are. We're in the community just like you are. A lot of things we would like some grace on that we also give grace for. Nobody is perfect. We're out here striving. Everyone is striving to do the best that they can. You all are heard. I agree with a lot of the sentiments that you all have. What I don't agree with was just the part about the silence. We weren't silent. We didn't know. It's as simple as that. But I'm always here. Again, if anyone wants to have a conversation, if you have any questions, if you have anything, I'm an open book. As always, a lot of you from the community know exactly who I am. You know exactly where I am. You know I service your children. I've serviced you. So I understand where you're coming from, but at the same time, let's also keep at the forefront who we are. And if you don't know who we are, get to know us. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other board members? Board Member Merritt?
First, I want to thank the student representatives. I want to let you know that we hear you, and we're here for you. And I want to let the audience know that we hear them too. But I don't want to be long. I want to keep it sweet and short and sweet. United we stand, divided we'll continue to fall. So we have to be united to fix all these problems that we have in our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Board Member Merritt. Board Member Hudson.
Thank you, Acting President. I appreciate it. Thank you to everybody who came out to speak. You know, it is definitely it's a lot to take in, and it just happened so quickly. And, you know, to echo Board Member Jackson, some of these things happen and we don't know, you know. But I think that everybody that's up here, our hearts are truly in this. You know, it is a volunteer position. You know, we are out in the community. We really do care, and we really do encourage participation from members of the community, from you, your families, your children, not just when things go wrong, but when things are going right, when we're all trying to make progress together. There's this saying, you know, that came to my mind about all of us being on a boat together. And if on that boat a hole happens to form anywhere, we all sink, all of us, no matter what side of the boat that you're on. So that's something that I want everybody to keep in mind, that we have to, we're all trying. We may have different solutions to how to resolve these issues, but we need to try to get on the same page and continue having not only hard conversations, but healthy ones too. So that's all I want to say. Thank you.
So thank you to all our board members that took a moment to share. At this time, I would like to turn it back over to our superintendent.
Thank you very much. Because we shifted the meeting, just wanted to make sure that procedurally we were doing everything in order. So at this time, I'm going to turn the meeting over to our Board Secretary, Dr. Kelvin Smith, to present the agenda items.
I present the Business Office agenda items for approval to the Board of Education. That's the bill list and the resolutions. Are there any questions from the board members?
Any questions? Not at this time. I'll turn it back over to you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Time, I don't have any questions. None of the board members has any questions. Superintendent?
Thank you. Interim Board President. In accordance with the powers vested in the State District Superintendent under Title 18A, I hereby approve today's Superintendent's agenda items and Business Office agenda items. At this time, because we changed the order of the meeting, there is a portion that must be presented in public in order for us to be in compliance with code and also to maintain points in the area of CUSAC, and that has to do with our reporting on student data information and student safety and data information. So at this time, we're going to shift, and what I would have typically done at the beginning of the meeting is share the superintendent's report, but it was definitely important in alignment with the recommendation from the interim board president that we shift in order to show empathy and to listen and to be able to move forward. So at this time, I'm going to ask the board if they would transition down to the floor so that I can share the superintendent's report, and that will be our last item of business for today. Thank you, everyone, for your attention. Testing. So good evening again, everyone. Thank you again for joining us for our January regular advisory board meeting. During the month of January, we honor the life, sacrifices, and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. The Camden City School District continuously strives to uphold the principles, values, and dreams shared by Dr. King, because our students deserve that and so much more. So today we pause. If I may ask you if we can pause, I know we're transitioning out and we did shift the order, but out of respect to Dr. King, if we can pause in a moment of silence. I'm asking if we can just pause for a moment of silence as we acknowledge the passing of Dexter Scott King, the son of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Coretta Scott King. If we can just pause for a brief moment of silence. Thank you. So the agenda, as I shared before, there is a topic that must be presented today because we're time-bound to do so, to be in alignment with New Jersey Administrative Code. And so, as with all of our board meetings, the topics are before you, so we can go on to the next slide. In order for our students to thrive academically and social-emotionally from pre-K through 12th grade, we must ensure they feel safe and fully included in their learning environment. As a school district, we are required to report at a public board meeting twice per year on the student safety data system. So by law, all public, and you see the information on the slide, I won't be repetitive, but all public schools in New Jersey, as well as all approved private schools for students with disabilities, must report annually in the student safety data system. As the state superintendent of schools, I must certify that all CCSD schools have reported by January 31st for September through December, and then again at the end of the year for the January through June data. Next slide. The incidents that are reported publicly by the New Jersey Department of Education fall into the following 5 categories: violence, vandalism, substance offense, weapons offense, and confirmed harassment, intimidation, and bullying cases. Next slide. This time last year, the total number of incidents reported in the SSDS for Camden City School District for the entire year was 65. Next slide. And again, these slides will be posted on the website so that you can take a deeper look at them. I just want to make sure that we can get through them. Now looking at this year, so far we have a total of 39 reported incidents, and that's, of course, just for this half of the year. That is, however, a decrease of 26 incidents. We are pleased with this decrease and look forward to moving and continuing with this trend as we move forward. And I'll talk about how we are going to be able to do that. And this is also helpful for many who had comments tonight with regard to safety and concerns about safety in our schools. So you'll know what the data looks like and also what we're doing to move forward. Next slide. Areas, and this slide again shows a graphical representation of each of the schools in our district, and this is comparative data for school year 22-23 versus this current school year. Areas of harassment, intimidation, and bullying are captured separately and also reported to our advisory board, the public, and the Department of Education. For the reporting period of September through December 2023, there have been 26 HIB investigations, and 2 of the investigations were in fact confirmed to be harassment, intimidation, and bullying. For comparison, for the same reporting period last year, there were 21 investigations, and 4 of the incidents were confirmed to be HIB. Next slide. It is important that we drill down to be able to analyze where the incidents are happening and who may be impacted. So this slide shows just the high school data, which is very relevant given the conversation that we had earlier. For this year, we have investigated 13 potential HIB incidents, and none of them were founded under the definition to meet the harassment, intimidation, or bullying. By comparison, last year we investigated 3 HIB cases across our high schools, but none of them were founded. Even though they were not founded, that does not mean we don't continue to work to ensure we are teaching our students about conflict resolution and how to resolve their issues without resorting to violence or harassment or intimidation or bullying. Next slide. In our primary and family schools, the present data for the 23-24 school year for September to December, there were 13 HIB investigations with 2 founded, while last year there were 18 HIB investigations with 4 confirmed as HIB. Next slide. And this is another way that we review the data by grade level for our current school year 23-24 from September through December. And as you take a look at this, you're able to see by grade level where we need to focus our efforts. So when we take a look at grade 4, and then when we take a look at our 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, and 9th, we take a look at, this helps us just to take a look at those areas and those grade levels that need support and that guides our intervention. Next slide. Out-of-school suspensions. This is an area that I want to take just a second to look at, because if you take a look at the comparative data between last year and this year, you'll see that we have made some strides with regard to out-of-school suspensions. We believe in a restorative approach in our district and have had training throughout the year. That's one of our priority areas, and we know that it's important to keep our young people in school. So even if they have a disciplinary infraction, our last effort or our last resort is to have them suspended outside of school unless there is something very egregious and they cannot be suspended within school. So again, a lot of times where there are infractions against the code of conduct, we think about the learning environment and suspensions. So during the 22-23 school year, for the first reporting period, we had a total of 269 suspensions. That was last school year. And this year, for the same reporting period, there have been 155 out-of-school suspensions across the entire district. So that is a decrease of 114 out-of-school suspensions through December 2023. And I believe that as we continue to support our staff with restorative training and approaches, building relationships with our young people, we will continue to see that number decline. Next slide. So for in-school suspension data, so with fewer out-of-school suspensions and more restorative practices, there has been an increase in the number of in-school suspensions, as I shared. The total in-school suspensions for 22-23 were 47. And the total in-school suspensions for 23-24 are 81. So we know we have work to do in that area, but we are glad that our students are in school more than out. In-school suspensions allow students to continue their education by not being excluded. During in-school suspension, restorative practices are being utilized, which provide for safe, neutral spaces for students to reflect on past behaviors, make an action plan for future decisions, and complete their daily assignments. We believe our commitment and focus on restorative practices is making a positive impact on the culture and climate in our schools, and we do look forward to monitoring progress and bringing that data back to the board and the public so that we can double down on those efforts that are effective and remove those that are not. Next slide. So trainings, it's very important that we discuss how are we going to support our staff members to ensure that we continue to move in the right direction when it comes to the reduction of HIB and also the reduction of violent instances. So as in education and in all careers, to become more effective, we rely on continuous training. For some of our training, we utilize the Global Compliance Network, or GCN, for all staff, including district-level administrators, school-level administrators, teachers, paraprofessionals, and other staff. The 9-hour GCN training includes some of the following topics: anti-bullying Bill of Rights, characteristics or needs of individuals or groups at risk for HIB, conflict resolution, cyberbullying, HIB intervention and prevention, HIB consequences, parent involvement in HIB cases, peer relationships or peer social norms, school climate and culture improvement, social norms, social skills, relationship improvement, and suicide prevention related to HIB. These are critical pieces that all of our staff members across the district, regardless of position, have to take these trainings. As a part of our district's reorganization, the creation of our Office of Climate and Culture has allowed for a greater focus on implementing district-wide school climate strategies. And so this office has partnered with Humanity First Consulting, which is helping to provide district staff with training on restorative justice strategies. Restorative justice is an approach to justice focused on communication, building relationships, and mediation rather than punishment, to work towards the better well-being of those who are offended as victims, offenders, and community members. We are specifically working with all of our administrators and climate and culture staff to implement restorative approaches in all of our schools. The restorative justice practices align with the New Jersey tiered system of support, which is a framework of interventions to improve student academic, behavior, social, emotional, and attendance achievement. And this slide, the next slide that is on the screen, just lists the programs that the district is engaged in that help us to ensure that we are meeting the needs of our young people. And so finally, for this portion, we must report out on SSDS. This slide represents just a few of the programs we are utilizing to educate, prevent, and combat harassment, intimidation, and bullying throughout the district. Here you can take note of mentoring, restorative practices, and positive behavior and supports in schools. This year, we are launching a new citywide anti-bullying, This year, we are launching a district-wide focus on minimizing bullying, anti-bullying in our district. We care about outcomes in our district, and we know social emotional learning is a reliable pathway to those desired outcomes. Thank you for your attention. Again, that report will be posted on our district website along with all of the other reports that I provide so that you can take a deeper look, a closer look, and if you have questions, reach out and we can address those questions. So just a few other areas under teaching and learning, just to highlight highlight and share for the board what has been happening. So M Schools visits Rutgers University Camden campus on Thursday, December 7th. A few of our scholars from Veterans Memorial School and Eastside High School attended the M Schools Annual Dream Summit at Rutgers University here in Camden. And again, the focus of this summit is an opportunity for immigrant and undocumented students to attend workshops, to attain valuable information about college, career, and entrepreneurship opportunities. And I want to just shout out this year, one of our very own Eastside High School students, Edwin Silva, won a scholarship from the Consulate of Mexico. And one of our middle school students, Chrismeli Bochio Sabino, won an iPad. So congratulations to both of our young people for representing our district with pride and excellence. Next slide. So CCSD congratulates Ms. Christina Grafoni, who is a middle school ELA teacher at Davis Family School, for being selected as one of the 32 curriculum associates for 2024 as one of their extraordinary educators. Let's give Ms. Grafoni a round of applause for the excellent job that she is doing. And so we are so very excited. There are 32 teachers in the class of 2024 selected from hundreds of applicants across the entire country. This is a national program, so Camden City School District has representation at the national level. So you will hear more about this. So again, on the next slide, we want to take this opportunity to shout out our ELA content leads and reading interventionists who facilitated school-based professional development sessions on the upcoming DIBELS 8 assessment, which is a literacy assessment that's a battery of short, 1-minute fluency measures that can be used for universal screening, benchmark assessments, and progress monitoring in K through 5th grade. This is critical as it is helping us to drill down on some of those skills and gaps in phonics and awareness that our young people may have missed during the pandemic, which has kept them back. So again, this is helping us to strengthen those gaps that were created. Next slide. Instrumental music is back and strong. Instrumental pull-out music has started. Students are very excited to receive their instruments. This is something we've been working toward for a long time and are learning the basics so that they can feed into our own Camden City School District high schools like Creative Arts, like any of our high schools that have instrumental music bands and programs. The picture on the left are represents two young ladies at Caddo, and the other two pictures are trumpet players along with Dr. Wenglicki at Morgan Village Middle School. So again, for many of us, I remember beginning music instrumental lessons in 3rd grade at Cooper's Point when Mr. Ryan Bates was actually a teacher. He had just gotten out of college, but it's so important for us to expose our young people early to instrumental music. This is a big deal because we have not been able to do this for many years in our district. So hats off to the team for working to put that in place. Next slide. Eastside High School's winter concert. Excellent job. The concert took place in December, and for the first time in several years, the school band at Eastside High School actually performed. So we are building up our Eastside High School band so that we can have equity across our district. The audience and players were very proud and excited to have the band participate again. It's been many, many years. Next slide. Creative Arts Academy students' artwork was part of an exhibit at the Woodmere Museum in Philadelphia. The orchestra was invited to play during the open house at the Woodmere Museum. Several students and their families were also in attendance. Next slide. We want to make sure that we're doing a better job. Yes, and hats off to all those teams for working so diligently. We want to make sure we're doing a better job as a district for the board and making sure that when new individuals join our team, especially in key areas, that we are providing that update to the public and to the board. So for a while now, since at the beginning of state intervention, one of the positions that was cut was that of a director of guidance, and we have suffered because of that for many years. Finally, because we're in a better place fiscally, we have been able to bring that position back. So we'd like to welcome Dr. Elisa Delali to Camden City School District. Dr. Delali has an extensive and diverse education background focusing on student advocacy. She is joining us as the new Director of Counseling, Scheduling, and Student Support Services. She served as the College of Education Recruitment and Retention Specialist at Rowan University. In her previous role at Rowan, Dr. Delali was crucial in coordinating post-secondary pipeline programs for underrepresented high school populations, contributing to efforts in recruitment and retention. She has over 20 years of experience in P-12, including serving as a Director of School Counseling and 3 other districts, and she also served in Camden City School District many years ago. That's what I was told, if I'm not mistaken. Is Dr. Delali here? Yes, Dr. Delali, thank you. You may stand up so everyone knows exactly who you are. Thank you. And welcome to the Camden City School District. And we're almost there, but we cannot neglect to update the board and the public on our efforts regarding attendance, because we know that in order for our students to achieve, they have to be in school. And so we partner with our families and we provide motivation and incentives to get our students to school every day. So every month we've been doing something special at the board meetings to encourage our schools, our school leaders to continue to aim high when it comes to attendance. And so this month we'd like to present, I know, okay, very good. Congratulations to Dudley Family School. Can I have a representative from Dudley to come forward to receive the January attendance trophy? Dudley School had the highest attendance throughout all of the schools in the Camden City School District. And so here's a trophy. It moves from school to school. The trophy is moving. Uh-oh, we have to tighten that up at the bottom. If you can make sure that Principal Ruiz gets this. Thank you, Ms. Wiggins. Yes. And again, a round of applause to Dudley for encouraging their young people to come to school. Thank you so much. Please give Principal Ruiz our regards. Steps. All right. So our January focus, in addition, on the heels of what I just said, it takes a partnership and a collective effort between our families and our district in order to move forward not only attendance but academic achievement. So our parent advisory councils, it's important for us to continue to update the board and the district on where we are. This month, our district parent advisory council received updates about our upcoming election and parent leadership training sessions. And then on the next slide, I'll share a little bit more information. As you can see here, we were able to, on December 8th, the DPAC interest form was open. On January 17th, you were able to meet the candidates. And so the next benchmark is February 21st, which will be Election Day. So February 21st will be Election Day in the Camden City School District for our District Parent Advisory Council leaders. And then you see the rest of the milestones. In March, there will be a Meet the DPAC Leadership event, and then March through April, completion of Parent Leadership Academy training, and then training that will occur a Summer Leadership Institute during the week of July 8th, and we want to have all our parents from across the community as well as our DPAC leaders to be able to engage in an intensive institute. Next slide. I just have a couple of updates from the Division of Talent and Labor Relations, who have been working diligently, but we want to make sure that we share again the context. I believe Board Member Gillespie talked about the national teacher shortage, and so we do know that there still exists a teacher shortage, but our DTLR team, under the leadership of our Chief Talent Officer, Ms. Teresa Reese, is working on innovative ways in partnership with the Department of Education to really put forward some innovative ways to create our own teachers and grow our own. But I have to share with you that we currently have a 9% teacher vacancy rate. Our highest number of vacancies still remain in the areas of special education, science, math, music, and health and physical education. DTLR remains committed to recruiting as many teachers as possible. However, hiring is slowing down as most candidates are looking for roles in the upcoming school year. So again, we want to just make sure we keep you abreast of what is happening with regard to our vacancy rate. It is currently at 9%. And again, some of the things we're doing to continue to address this: thus far, the team has been invited to attend career fairs at the College of New Jersey, Rider University, Ramapo College, New Jersey School Jobs Virtual Fair, Temple University, Stockton University, and that's just a short list of all of the recruitment efforts that have been put forth. The team is working on a district-wide hiring event, and will share further details at the next meeting. And so we continue to advertise our roles on Indeed, New Jersey School Jobs, K-12 JobSpot, LinkedIn, Handshake, and more to fill these and future vacancies. But we know that we have to become creative. And so again, as I shared, we've been working collectively with so many, especially with our partnership with Rowan University, the Department of Ed, our own Talent and Labor Relations team, to create Teach Camden. And Teach Camden is an initiative. This initiative is so very important because it will allow us to help to grow our own teachers. So again, we are excited to announce the Teach Camden initiative. You see some information there. This is a Camden-specific initiative that is specifically designed to assist paraprofessionals currently employed with the Camden City School District who have a bachelor's degree to become certified teachers by September 2025, in 18 months. So we're able to do that and build and grow our own because we know our paraprofessionals are loyal and dedicated, and they want to be right here with our young people. So the deadline to submit an application is February 1st. Those staff members who are admitted into the program will receive a scholarship to participate in this accelerated program. So again, we had an information session on January 12th. 11 paraprofessionals participated, but we have more slots available. So we're going to support them through the application process because we want to make sure that they're able to not only get into the program, but also to get through the program and to earn their teaching certificate. This is something that's near and dear to many, and I will always say, while I have any microphone, my mom was a single parent, and she worked at Woodrow Wilson at the time as a paraprofessional, and myself and my two younger sisters would go with her to Glassboro State College because she was a para who was able to participate in a program very similar to this and earn her teaching certificate. So it can happen, it can be done, and we are here to support. So please spread the word. Let everyone know. Well, not everyone. Miss Reese is going to get me for saying that. But yes, spread the word so that we can get as many paraprofessionals involved. But there are criteria, and we want to support them. And this is an awesome way for us to build our own. We can't rely on anybody else. We have to build it for ourselves. And again, this slide, the next slide, I won't go over it, but it just shows the 18-month process for our qualified paraprofessionals to begin the program if they are successfully entering the program this spring. They will begin with an expected completion date again of summer 2025, an 18-month program. This is the outline, and we are looking forward to being the first once again to provide this type of opportunity. And the next slide just shows a reminder again of the application deadline and some of the pieces that I already spoke about. And finally, favorite part for all of us, district highlights, fun stuff. So we know we had a couple of snow days. We were not expecting it, and we will share a revised calendar very soon. But check out our students from Cooper's Point who are learning to play with snow inside. So since they couldn't go outside, they brought the outside in, and they had such a wonderful time. Learning has no limits, and they were able to use a project-based learning lesson in order to help our young people to take advantage of just the fun time of having snow, but tying that to positive learning experiences. Next slide. Earlier today, myself, along with Interim Advisory Board President Nelson, teamed up with the Camden Education Fund and Councilman Falio Leyba Martinez to encourage district, charter, and Renaissance high schools in Camden to participate in the annual citywide FAFSA Challenge. The school with the highest completion rate will win a $25,000 prize. So we know last year we won it. Camden City School District won. BPLA won the $25,000 prize. So our very own, yes, that's right, and we want to do it again, Our very own BPLA scholar, Isaiah M., spoke on the importance of filling out the FAFSA and, of course, letting his peers know that the Camden City School District will take the prize home again. This year, it'll be interesting because there's also a competition between Camden and Newark. So if there's a winner, we'll also be, there's a competition going on between the two cities. So we're looking forward to when we win, not if, when we win, we'll be able to share that with you as well. But more importantly than winning, it helps to encourage all of our young people to make sure they're taking advantage of the millions and millions of dollars that are left on the table because students may not have applied for the FAFSA. So that's the real goal, even though, we want to make sure everyone knows what district is best. And then the next slide, as we continue to focus on reading, Bookmates, Read Aloud. We had a wonderful event with the Camden County Metro Police Department, the Jewish Community Center, as well as our Forest Hill staff members and students on reading. Again, we must continue to focus on reading, and these reading mentors are helping our effort to motivate our young people to read. And the next slide, on Friday, we posted asking families to savor their snow day off and to share the activities they were engaged in. So we're delighted to see how many students embraced and enjoyed the snowy day, and we had many individuals who posted on our website. And we are almost there. The next slide, I wanted to just highlight again the incredible work of our school-based youth services team and the work that they do. So in December and January, our school-based youth services team organized several programs as highlighted in the slides. They organized a LEAD, which stands for Learning, Empower Her, MET, and Achieving Diversity Summit hosted by the Department of Children and Families, Students Against Violence Everywhere Multicultural Holiday Celebration at Eastside High School, the Morgan Village Middle School Holiday Family Night, Holiday Gala at Cooper's Point Family School, the Parent Linking Program, Ages and Stages of Farm Animals, Learning Through Exploring a Winter Wonderland, and Multicultural Holiday Celebration at Dudley School were just a few of the events and the programs. So in addition to these highlights, the district is disseminating, as I shared before, the 2023 Camden County Youth Services Commission Services and Community Programs Resource Manual for Students and Families. And I held up a copy of that earlier, and we want to make sure that anyone takes advantage of that who needs it, and that you are referring other individuals to our excellent school-based youth services team. And last but not least, Interim President Nelson, I don't know if you want to acknowledge our retirees or have a designee to do so. And you can it's just the two who are there. It's okay, I have it here. It's okay, I have it here. It's okay, thank you. We're doing things a little differently, so thank you for your flexibility. These are the two individuals.
So thank you, Superintendent. I'd like to take a minute to just thank those that have dedicated years of service to our district. So Karen Green, teacher of health, 26 years. And Rosita Vargas Corbin, social work, 23 years and 3 months. On behalf of the board, we would just like to say thank you for your commitment and your service to our district.
Thank you so very much. And again, because we did things a little bit differently, I'll ask our board secretary, I'm not sure, oh, there you are over there, if you wouldn't mind taking the mic so we can just adjourn. Thank you. Thank you all for your flexibility. That's fine. That's fine. Thank you.
Have a motion to adjourn the meeting? Motion Nelson, second, Mr. Hudson. Okay, all in favor? Meeting's adjourned.